Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Dr. Hadijah and my fellow viewers. My name is Nur Afika Humaira binti Muhammad Zulhasnan and I am from EDU550. Today, I will be presenting my case study in regards to classroom management. The title of my case study is Effective Classroom Management Strategies in Teaching Large Classrooms with Diverse Learning Styles. The reason why I chose this topic is because recently, there has been a concern of overcrowding classrooms that are set to disrupt students' learning and teachers' lesson flow. This will then affect students' performance, whether it is during class or even in their academic performance. In this case study, I have a total of 3 objectives. My first objective is to identify teachers' perception towards managing overcrowded classrooms with various learning approaches. The second objective is to recognize the challenges faced by educators when managing a large classroom setting. The third objective is to explore the strategies used by teachers in managing a large classroom with diverse learning style. I have used 5 research articles as support. The first research article that is used is titled Overcrowded Classrooms, Challenges, Consequences, and Collaborative Solutions for Educators, a Literature Review. The method used in this research article is a comprehensive literature review that was conducted on several online databases which include Google Scholar and Silvica. The findings include the challenges faced in overcrowding classrooms, the impact of overcrowded classrooms towards teachers' performance and students' achievement, and strategies in overcoming the challenges. The second research article that is used is the impact of classroom overpopulation on the academic performance of students, in this case, the case of GBHS Yaoundé. The methodology used in this study is conducted through quantitative and qualitative methods that ensures the relevant comprehension in terms of the impact of large-sized classrooms on academic performance. The findings include the impact of teachers' effectiveness in lesson delivery on students' academic performance. The third research article is about teachers' experiences with overcrowded classrooms in a basic school in Ghana. The research method is through qualitative focus and purposive sampling. The findings include educators encounter stress in congested classrooms, various and nuanced factors leading to stressful interactions for educators, and perspectives of educators handling congested classrooms. There are a total of 2 major theories that can be applied, which are Vygotsky's social constructivist theory and Bandura's social cognitive theory. And this is based on the research article 4, which is an exploration of the benefits and constraints of social constructivist classroom and its application in Chinese public primary school. The findings include social constructivism with its application in education setting, as well as collaborative learning and open classes based on administrative. Then, the 5th article that I use as support is about the application of Albert Bandura's social cognitive theory in teaching and learning. The research methods are qualitative approach and the type of research is library research. The findings include basic assumption of social cognitive learning theory, learning components of social cognitive theory, and cognitive process in learning. The method that I have used to collect data is qualitative research developed through semi-structured interviews. This is done through purposive sampling, where I have interviewed a veteran teacher and a novice teacher in regards to my topic. The first teacher that I interviewed was Madam Evelyn Jos, who is a history teacher with 30 years of experience. She teaches at SM Sungsin Sabah and can be considered as a veteran teacher. The second teacher that I have interviewed is Miss Adriana. She is a 3rd-year English teacher at SMK Abi Perlis, and she mostly teaches upper forms. Therefore, Miss Adriana can be considered a novice teacher. For the data collection procedure, I have conducted 2 online interviews through Google Meet with both of the teachers. I have 11 interview questions that are based on my 3 research objectives and research questions. Now, let us discuss on the findings, which include the data analysis and discussion. The first similarity is seen through the perception of students' performance in an overcrowding class. Both teachers agree that large class setting limits the range of students' attention towards the lesson due to distraction within class. This will then strain teachers' comfortability through the workload of not only teaching, but also maintaining discipline in class. Other than that, the second similarity is the challenge of maintaining classroom bonds. Building a rapport to know the student's background and personal abilities plays a big role. This ensures that teachers are able to develop tasks and input that will benefit all students with various comprehension levels and different learning preferences. This appeared to be a major challenge in big-size classes as factors such as time constraints will limit the emotional bond.
With your students, even though they don't want to learn, they want to respect you as a person because they already view you as somebody that is special to them, somebody that they can talk to whenever they have problems. So they won't step out of that circle of disrespecting you. So it's difficult because of that, because I can't have that special bond with 40 people, because even though I want to, it's just not possible for me as one person to go to each of them and listen to everybody's problems, etc., etc.
The third similarity is in terms of the strategies of managing discipline in class. With a higher number of students, setting boundaries is one of the most prominent procedures that educators need to emphasize on. Both teachers agree that classroom rules and regulations need to be disclosed at the beginning of the class. Other than that, both teachers also implement a reward system as a reinforcement for good classroom behavior. Let us look at the differences. The notable difference within the retrieved data is the implementation of innovative learning modules for students with various learning styles. Although both teachers include group and student-centered learning in their lesson, the differences is in their methods. For the veteran teacher, Madam Evelyn, she prefers to conduct a creativity-based learning through fundamental activities such as creating a mind map or even using an online quiz. This is made easy as the school she teaches in provides facilities such as LCDs and projectors. However, for the novice teacher, Miss Adriana, she prefers to conduct a more hands-on activity in her class, such as role plays and mini theaters. This is also due to the fact that she teaches in a rural area in which there are limited technological resources that can be used in class activities. Now, let us discuss on the key findings of this case study. The first key findings that can be found is the effect of large classroom settings towards student engagement. This is because it is constantly mentioned how teachers are unable to divide their attention to all students, in which it can affect the expected learning outcomes. Teachers will have more burden in maintaining the flow of the lesson, and students will lose their motivation to learn. According to Vakili et al. 2024, large class sizes are bound to increase teachers' workload that affect educators in providing personalized instruction for students. And at the same time, students may not be able to provide their full engagement due to this particular issue. Therefore, a teacher's role is not just to teach and assess, but also to make sure students are able to convey lessons through initiating a conducive learning environment. Other than that, instructional stance also determines the learning outcomes of students in large-sized classrooms. This is because within the high number of pupils, there are diverse learning styles that need to be taken into consideration. This is supported by Tumbu and Henriette, 2025, who stated that overcrowded classrooms tend to suppress the efficiency of teachings, which can undermine the effectiveness of lesson delivery. To further explain, pedagogical competence needs to become adapted to the class environment to make sure it is not overshadowed by the struggle of managing oversized classrooms. In this case, educators must always be prepared for improvisation in their teachings because anything unpredictable can happen at any time. According to Osai et al. 2021, improvisation can be used to improve learning materials to maintain the excitement during class. Hence, it can be seen from the research that flexible teaching approaches need to be enhanced to improve teaching in an overcrowded classroom.
Teliti, kita tidak boleh masuk saja kelas tanpa persediaan. Kalau tidak ada persediaan kan, memang tidak dapat. Kita pastikan ada mungkin perkara-perkara yang di luar jangkaan kita kan. Jadi saya rasakan perlu rancang pengajaran dengan lebih teliti.
Furthermore, interaction in class is also one of the key findings. In the cases of overcrowded classrooms, the opportunities for students to interact with their peers are increased. Therefore, they can share their perspective. This is because in one classroom itself, there are various levels of academic proficiency, and it is even more in a large class setting. Vygotsky's social constructivism theory can be used to encourage collaborative learning between students, as it is nearly impossible for educators to cater to all students at one time. According to Jin 2025, social constructivism has reportedly assisted students in mastering various skills such as fostering new information and boosting self-motivation as well as cultivating the sense of achievement. Therefore, the implementation of this theory can assist teachers in making sure no students are left behind. Moreover, efficient classroom arrangement plays an important role in influencing students' behavior and cognitive development. Other than teachers, even peers and classmates can be the models in terms of the theory of observational learning. In other words, students are set to learn through what they see others are doing. According to Mujahida and Yustiana 2023, Bandura's social cognitive theory emphasizes on how individuals learn through imitations and series of examples. Thus, seating arrangement plays a significant role in determining if the influences are positive or negative. To summarize, this study explores the effective teaching strategies in large-sized classrooms using qualitative research and purpose sampling. The findings indicate that teachers often implement a group-based learning with differentiated instruction to ensure the lesson's inclusivity towards diverse learners. Hence, it can be concluded that the case study emphasizes that teachers can still come up with innovative classroom management methods while facing challenges of teaching in large class settings. Although this case study does provide sufficient insights, it is still important to conduct further research in terms of the severity of this topic. For example, future researchers may include students in the process of retrieving data by interviewing based on their own perspective. With that, there are two recommendations that I can give. One is the involvement of administrators. Administrators must uphold their responsibility in making sure teachers are well prepared. This can be done through a thorough teacher training or even provide teaching support and resources for teachers to use in their classrooms. The second recommendation is through the involvement of parents. In terms of managing class, parents also play a pivotal role in making sure that their children receive emotional support to motivate them in adapting learning habits. To add on, parents can regularly refer to teachers about their child's learning process to make sure that they are updated with the status quo. And with that, I have done presenting my case study. Thank you for watching.